So in the previous part, we added owner to the theater. We need to make one more fix here. In the middleware also, we need to add this check, right, that we are sending the owner. But technically, the owner will be automatically get because we are already checking authentication. So that is good. One thing that we can do once we have created the theater, then we can send the mail to the owner, right? Something like that we can do. So if you will go to payment controller, right, you can see we are currently just calling this here, and every time we have to just make this call. So this can be something a bit cumbersome. So what we can do is, let's go to services, let's create a new file, email.service.js, right? And what we can do is we can get axios here, const axios is equals to require axios. We can write a function const send mail, and let's get all of this code from here to here, right? And inside this, let's get the subject, let's get email, and let's get the content, right? So in the subject you can pass subject, in the email you can pass email, and in the content you can pass the content, right? And we can say module.exports send mail. So now we can use this utility anywhere, anytime. So rather than getting axios directly here, let's do one thing. Const send mail is equals to require services slash email dot service, and let's call send mail, where the subject is going to be this, email is going to be user.email, right? User.email, and content is going to be this. So this thing we can segregate out, right? And let's remove this call from here. So this looks better, right? Now what we can do, we can just go to theater model, and sorry, theater controller, and here also we can just get our email service. So const send mail is equals to require services slash email dot service, okay? And when we have successfully created the theater, let's say send mail, right? And we can write the subject as successfully created a theater. For the timing, I'm passing request.user. Let's do one thing, let's not pass email directly from here, we can fetch the email in the service. In the content you can say you have successfully created a new theater, right? And let's do one thing, let's just send our user ID, okay? And in the email service, let's get the user, const user is equals to require dot slash models slash user dot model. And before we do this, we can have it as a asynchronous function. We can do const user is equals to await user dot find by id, and we can say user dot email. This looks good, right? So let's do one thing. For our recently created customer, let's update their role to client now. right? Now the role is updated to client, and let's do one thing. Let's send their token customer. In this one, in this token, their token was there, and let's make one more mall kind of like this, right? Let's try to create a theater using them. So if you send the request, okay, I guess server is not running. Okay, it says uses neither a client nor an admin. Okay, let's see why. Okay, now the user is updated. Let's try now. Interesting. Let's sign up. Let's sign up with that user. Okay, I got it. Okay, now the user is a client. Send. Okay, now let's send the request. Okay, so we are having some issues with the errors. We can even debug that. Okay, now we are able to create it, and let's check, did we create a new ticket or not? So yes, we have a new ticket for this. Let's see if we are able to receive the email or not. Okay, we'll wait for a while. Till the time I can just quickly debug what is the issue. So I believe the same reference is getting passed everywhere. So somewhere we are also changing the message. So if you go to auth middleware, is admin or client? Okay, we are getting the error property, and when we are actually going to theater middleware, okay, so this is the problem. We are updating the message here. We should technically update the error property. That was the problem. This all should be error. Okay, and let's even check quickly the rest of them. Okay, this is all error. Looks fine now. Yeah, so just in the theater middleware we were updating error response body dot message. We should technically update error response body dot error. Let's see in the notice service what's going on. Okay, we are still waiting, I guess. We are still in the pending state. Let's wait for a while. Okay, now we have received just an email. You have successfully created a new theater. Let's check. Okay, so ticket is success, and we are also getting the response. So everything is working fine, and our app is ready to get shipped. So we'll say git add all, git commit -m, refactor send mail, and fixed error messaging for theaters. Git push. So we have successfully made all of the changes required to send notifications. Let's just quickly merge this code in our master branch. So that's going to be simple. Let's create a new pull request. We are already getting a suggestion, compare and pull request. It's mergeable, create pull request. Let's checking ability to merge. Let's merge pull request, confirm. And we have successfully merged our pull request. Let's go to master. And let's pull everything to the master. Cool. So now our API is kind of in like a good shape, right? Everything is working fine for us. we are also able to communicate to the notification service. After this, we are going to take a leap forward, and we are going to see that how we can deploy our service. Um, in the further upcoming set of parts, we are going to see the deployment both on Heroku as well as AWS. So things are going to get really very interesting. So now we have made some good progress on our notification service. Technically, we are ready for sending the mails right away. But the architecture that we have set up is going to be something like whenever the user is able to make a successful booking, there we are going to make a request from our movie booking service to the notification service. This request is going to make a database entry for the movie booking database, the notification database, and it is going to create a ticket for us, which is going to be in a pending state. Then every 30 seconds, or let's say every 2 minutes, whatever configurations we want to have, our system is going to check for the database that what all new entries we have got, which are in a pending state for sending mails. And after that, we are going to pick all of them up. We are going to get the the recipient email details, subject details, and all of those things, and then send the email. We are not going to send the email right away. Instead, we are going to take like a 2-minute leap every time, and then we are going to send the mails. In order to set that up, we are going to use cron jobs. We have already talked about a bit around cron jobs. So you can assume that cron job is something in our system that can help you to do scheduling. It can schedule things like for every year, every 2 months, every day, every week, every hour, you want to do something, every minute you want to do something. This level of configuration we can have. So the package that we are going to use for this is going to be Node Cron. Right. So this is the package that we are going to use. Let's just quickly install this package, and then I'll explain about the package as well to you, all of you guys. So Node Cron is set up. Right. Now you can see this type of configuration we can schedule. So these stars are going to actually represent that every month, every day of the week, every day of the month, hour, minute, second, these kind of I would say level of scheduling you can do that. If you want to execute some task every second, every minute, then maybe you can do something. So for example, let's say uh, if you want to do something every 2 minutes, then this configuration can help you. Star by two, star, 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 star. So you can just Google about your configuration that let's say I want to do everything every Thursday of every week at 10 a.m. How can I schedule a cron for that? So you'll get some good Google results. So I can even show you. We can say schedule task every Thursday 10 a.m. Node cron. Right. So you can see we are getting some good articles, and let's see. Okay, so the same thing here. Now for example, passing 30-20 will make the node cron run your job at the 30th second of the 20th minute of each hour. See how much level of configuration we can do. Similarly, passing 35-13 will run your task at 1:05:30 p.m. right, because this is going to be 30 minutes, this is going to be the hour, and this is going to be the minute. So hour, minutes, and seconds, right? So 1:05 and 30th second, you are going to actually execute something. So this level of configuration you can have, and you can say that, for example, if the hour field you set as 2 to 4, it specifies execution at hour 2, 3, and 4. So every 2, 3, 4 hour. So this level of configurations you can have. So you can read multiple articles based on that. But I believe our task is done because we just want to schedule something every 2 minutes. So let's do this. So what we can do is we can create a new file, cron.js. Right. We are going to first of all require node cron. After requiring node cron, we are going to require the ticket model. right? This should be ticket. And then let's say we are also going to require the emailer. So if you will look at it, email service, then we are actually just returning this send mail function. So let's see, send mail is equals to require services slash email dot service. Okay, now I want to schedule a cron, so we'll say cron dot schedule, right? We are going to pass a string, and this string can help us. Let's just copy this so that we can do something every 2 minutes, and we are going to set up a asynchronous callback function. This is the callback function that will get executed after every 2 minutes, right? So first of all, what we are going to do, notifications to be sent. We are going to get all the notifications to be sent. How we are going to get that? We'll say ticket dot find, and the status, we can keep the status as pending, right? You can even check the models. We have a pending state, right? Okay, so all those notifications which are in pending state, we are going to fetch them, right? Now we are going to iterate over all of these notifications dot for each, right? And then for each notification, we are going to call the send email function, right? So we are going to first of all create the mail data. So in the mail data, we can say from, you can say movie booking application @support.com. 2 can be notification dot, let's see what is the data in the model that we are saving. This is going to be recipient emails, right? So recipient emails, subject is going to be notification dot subject, right? And text is going to be notification, this should be notification dot, there should be a property text, I believe, content we have content. Okay, so this mail data is ready for us. Now technically, if you'll see the send email functionality, inside this send email functionality, I'm just taking user ID and password. I'm not actually taking the subject, text, and to property. So maybe we can even take that up, right? So let's say we can say, let's take a mail data property, right? And this from is going to be mail data from. This to is going to be mail data dot to. Subject is going to be mail data dot subject, and text is going to be mail data dot text, right? This can be one thing. And I believe we can just call transport.sendMail. We don't even need to make it asynchronous or something. We'll just keep on sending the mails asynchronously, right? Let's check if we are missing something. I believe everything is good. So now what we can do is we can say, let's call send mail. The user ID is going to be process.env.mail, email, password is going to be process.env.email pass, and third is going to be mail data that we are going to send. Okay, looks fine to me, this thing. Cool. Now we have our cron file ready, right? We have successfully set up everything, right? Let's just make a quick commit here. Added cron scheduler. Cool. Now in the further upcoming set of parts, we are going to actually see that how can we run this cron so that we can register this task, right? Because we need to do one more thing before we actually move ahead. Once the notifications are sent, then for all these notifications we need to update the status to be actually from pending. You can see if I go to ticket notification, from pending we need to update it to success, right? So based on that we are going to do something. So this much code is not going to just help us. What we are going to do, we are going to bind it inside a bunch of try catch, and we will actually see that if everything went fine or not. So we have successfully set up a basic cron file. Now we need to make some refactor so that we can efficiently use it. First thing is let's just do one thing. Let's not send emails directly from here. We can segregate out this send email logic into our cron logic only. Why I'm doing that, I'll give you a reason. Because in the callbacks we will be able to actually fetch more data around it, and we will be actually able to update the database. So let's do one thing. Let's just cut this object out, right? And we are going to just return this transport object, right? And let's say it as mailer. Okay, so technically here we can first of all get const mailer is equals to, let's this as mailer. We can create this mailer object using process.env.email, process.env.email password. So now we have the mailer with us. Now what we can do, instead of sending the data like this, we can say mailer dot, and now we can call the function send mail. In the send mail function we are going to pass the mail data first, and then we are going to have a callback, right? Inside this callback we can execute few situations. So this callback is going to be an error first callback, so we can pass the error and we can get the data if there is no error. So if there is some error, we are actually going to just console.log the error for the time being. Else, if there is no error, then first of all let's just print the data, right? And we can update the notification. So we can say await ticket dot find one, and we are going to share the notification ID, share the ID as notification dot ID, right? So we are going to get this ticket data, right? And then we are going to say, let's say saved notification is equals to this, and then we are going to say saved notification dot status is equals to send or let's say success, and we can say saved notification dot save. Await as save, and this should be good, right? So now what we are doing, actually we are just using this notification ID. We'll be having the closure over this notification object. We are going to get this notification ID, and once we have sent the email and we receive this callback, in this callback we are going to update it. Now what we can do, let's just bind this whole function inside a mailer cron function. Let's get all of this and bind it inside here, and let's just do module.exports mailer cron. Right, this can be done. And let's do one thing. Let's go to index.js. Let's we can just avoid this send mail, and instead let's get mailer cron function from the cron job. So we'll say dot slash cron, and once we have successfully made the connection, what we can do, we can execute mailer cron. Right, okay, looks fine. Let's do one thing. In the mailer cron, oh sorry, there's a notification spelling error. Okay, let's do one thing. In this cron, first of all, let's do a console.log executing cron again. Right, and let's check the database. Okay, so we just have one data pointer here. Right, this is in pending state. Right, and we have a recipient email, we have few emails. Right, and we have this content. Okay, so technically when we should execute it, it should get this ticket from the notifications database and execute it, like send the mail. So let's do one thing. Let's execute, do npm start, let's run. Okay, okay, I guess we made a mistake. So actually from this mailer cron, we are actually returning the object, right? So let's go here, let's get cron, and let's say cron dot mailer cron. This should be the case, and npm start. So let's just wait for 2 minutes. We have set up a timer of 2 minutes. So technically after 2 minutes, we should receive an email, right? So I have opened this email here, and let me also open the other email in my separate tab. Right, let's just keep an eye on the log, because we are going to log it as well. It is going to take exactly 2 minutes, so we need to keep an eye here. Right, let's also just quickly refresh the database once. If okay, it's still in pending state. Let's just wait for 2 minutes, and till that time let's just do the rest of the things. We can just quickly do a quick commit here, so that we can utilize this much time. Right, we can say git add all, git commit -m refactored cron code. Okay, we'll make a new commit. Looks fine. Okay, so now technically it said executing cron again. So technically okay, so we are getting an error. Let's see what's the error. It tried to send it, it's not getting the notification. Okay, so this was a mistake that I made only. There is a spelling error, I guess. So this should be notification. Technically we have received an email, we should have received an email. You can see we just received an email, so email is working fine, but because there was this issue with the callback, the DB must not get updated. You can see it's still in pending, right? So we have re-executed it. Let's wait. And also I just checked on my other email also that I have mentioned here. It is also receiving the emails fine. Let's just wait for one more moment, like 2 more minutes we have to give, and then we can check if things are working fine or not. So till that time, let's see if we need any more refactor. So we have made just a change. Let's just make another quick commit as a fix. Git add all. Fixed notification callback for success update. Cool. Okay, I believe in 1 more minute it should execute the code. Let's just wait here. And okay, it's executing the cron again, and no such error, and we are receiving this object, and I have received the mail on my other email. Let me show you with the, okay, you can see it says 2. That means we received another email just now. So now we are able to set up emails, and we are able to also send emails properly. So this is a big I would say success for our notification service. So I hope the overall logic on how exactly the notification service is working is clear to everyone. In the further upcoming set of parts, now what we are going to do, we are going to make our movie booking application communicate to this notification service. How is that gonna happen? We are going to see. So you can see in the previous parts we were able to successfully send emails, and this ticket notification is also in a success state. So that is something that we were able to do, right? Now what we are going to do is, from our movie booking service, this was the movie booking service, we are going to make a call to the notification service, and there we just have to create a ticket notification. That's it. So we already have an API exposed from our notification service as a post request to create a ticket. All we have to do is make sure in the ticket we have our subject, we have our content, and we have recipient email as an array, right? These three are the mandatory options. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do in the environment variables, we are going to say noti service. We are going to store the address of the noti service, right? Because when we are going to make an HTTP call, we need the address for the corresponding service. Currently our service is in localhost 3001, I guess, right? This is, let's check the port. Yes, it's running on localhost 3001, right? We'll just save this here, and now let's go to models, right? Let's go to models, and not even models, let's go to services. Let's go to payment service, and here is the moment when the payment got successful. We made the booking, and we saved the payment, and we returned the booking. The moment we return the booking, we should initiate a send mail functionality. Now how can we make an HTTP call, right? So there are multiple I would say libraries that are available with Node, using which you can make HTTP calls, right? So one of them is axios, right? You can use axios. There is one more, that is Node REST client. It's like, just when you have to make an HTTP call, you can use any one of the two packages, right? Both are quite famous and well supported, right? Axios is kind of like much more famous. You can see the number of weekly downloads is way high than Node REST client. So we can like check axios. How to use axios? Simple. install axios first. So in the movie booking app, we are going to install axios. Okay, but before we actually do something like that, let's do one thing. uh, let's create a new feature branch. So we were done with the feature 7. Let's go to GitHub once. Let's go to GitHub. Right, and in the movie booking API, let's create a pull request. Let's create a pull request from feature 7 to master. Create pull request, and everything is fine. Let's merge the pull request. So now we have merged the code for feature 7. Now let's just go to master. Let's take the latest pull to the master. Okay, now let's make a new branch, feature 8 notification. Okay, now let's install axios. So we can say, let me zoom in a bit. Npm install axios. So axios is installed now for us. Now how can we use axios? You can see here, we can make a get request to whatever URL we want, right? And this is going to be a promise based syntax, right? So even you can see here dot get request like this, right? And you can even call something like this. So there are multiple ways in which you can use axios, right? So let's try to use it. We need to make a post request, right? So let's get axios. So const, and let's do one thing. Let's not put this logic in the service. Let's go to controller. Let's go to payment controller, and when you do booking completed successfully, then we'll try to get axios. And then before we return, we are going to make a call to axios dot get request. We're going to make a get request to, let's put the, sorry, it's a post request. It's going to be a post request. Now in the post request, you need to send request body as well. So let's see how can we send that. So we can Google axios post request, right? So you can see this is how you can make the post request, and after that you can send the request body. So let's do that. So we can say the URL is going to be process.env dot noti service plus, this is going to be localhost 3001 slash let's get the route from noti service. This is going to be the route, right? And as a response, sorry, as a request body, you have to deal with few things. What all things we have to deal with? Let's see. Now the thing is, we need to send these details, subject and all. So we can put a property subject. Your booking is successful. We can write this as the subject. In the let's get the correct spelling only. In the recipient emails, right? In the recipient emails, we are going to give an array. What will be this array? So we need to add the ID of the user for which we have made the booking, right? So if you will check MBADB and we go to bookings, right? In the bookings we have a user ID. So for this particular user ID, we can fetch the user, right? So what we can do is const user is equals to await. Let's get the user model here. Require dot slash model slash user dot model, and we can say user dot find by id. This is going to be um, let's see, from the create payment, what all we are returning. We are returning this booking, right? So we can say uh, response dot user id. Okay, and with this user you can send user dot email, right? If you check user, there is an email property. That's good. Okay, this is going to be recipient email, and in the content, right, in the content we can write something like your booking for um, let's even get the movie details. Let's get the movie model as well. Const movie is equals to require dot slash model slash movie dot model, and const theater is equals to require model slash theater dot model. Let's get all of these three details. Const movie is equals to await movie dot find by id, response dot movie id. Const theater is equals to await theater dot find by id, theater dot sorry response dot theater id. Okay, we got all of these three details. So we'll say you're booking for movie dot name. Every movie has got a name parameter, you can see. In we can write theater dot name. There will be a name for every theater as well, right? For you can say response dot number of seats, right? Every booking has number of seats. On response dot timing is successful. Okay, your booking id is dollar response dot id, right? This is going to be the content. You can just make a custom content here, whatever you want. So now is a good time to test it. First of all, I'm not going to just directly send it to avoid any errors. Let's just quickly do a console.log of response to actually see what all we are getting, and let's try to make a new booking. First of all, we'll make a new user so that with that user we can create a booking, right? So uh, let's do one thing. Okay, so first of all, let's just make a new user slash api slash un slash auth slash sign up. So we can send the email let's get the email from here. Let's get the same email, right? So that at least we can see. And let's say password is this. Let's send. Okay, sorry, this is /MBA, and this is localhost 3000. Okay, we need to send username as well. Let's check. So we have a name property, test account. Okay, so we have created a test account successfully. Let's just quickly sign in. Don't need to send name. Okay, we have signed it. So let's copy this authentication token, paste it here. Now now we need to set up a booking, so we'll say /bookings. Okay, so let's get data from some old bookings. So we need theater ID. Let's get this as the theater ID. Okay, sorry, my bad. Then we'll say movie ID. User we are already going to get. Let's get the timings as this only. Timing as this, and let's see. Even we can get for this, I guess the same. Let's make this, let's book for this 10 p.m. show instead. Okay, and we need to get number of seats, I guess. Number of seats, let's say we want to get 3 seats. Okay, let's see, do we need anything else? Let's go to middleware, booking middleware. We need theater ID, we need movie ID, and we need timing, we need number of seats. That's it. Let's create a booking. Okay, it says internal server error. Okay, do we need to send price? Let's see, is there a bug? So we are creating the booking, right? Let's do create booking. We're getting console.log error. We're getting type error. We are not able to read price. Okay, most probably we are not able to get shows, and I believe I know the reason. It's expecting it to be sent in a string. If you send it now, okay. So now we are able to actually get the booking, right? So the problem is in the database, if you will carefully see, I made a mistake while making the shows. It's a string inside a string, so we can like validate it later. Let's get this booking ID, right? And we need to make a payment. Okay, so we can say /payments. For payment, we need to send the booking ID and the amount. Booking ID, and let's say amount 1050. Okay, if we send it, it says booking successful. Now let's see what do we get in response. Okay, we are getting most of the things correctly in the response, right? So I believe if we will try to send email, it will work. So let's go to controller. So what all things we are using? Movie.name, that's from that. Response.timing, looks fine. Cool, looks fine. Let's try now. Before we try, let's make some changes to the database. Let's delete the latest payment that we made. Let's delete this. And in the bookings, for the latest booking, let's make it pending. Okay, now let's try to make a payment again. Let's see, did our notification service is already running, looks fine. And let's even check. Okay, cool. Let's try again. Let's make a payment again. Okay, the payment is made. Let's check the notification DB. Do we have a new ticket? Okay, it didn't create a new ticket, so probably something went wrong. Okay, so it was an axios error, unsupported protocol localhost. Okay, so it was an axios error, so I know what can be the issue. We need to write everything, http colon forward slash forward slash. I believe we need to send the whole of it. And let's even do one thing. After response, let's also try to print what we are getting in notice service. Okay, let's make the changes again. Let's go to payments. Let's delete the latest payment. And let's go to bookings. We again made it successful. Let's make it pending. Okay, let's make a payment again. Send. Okay, so we are getting HTTP localhost 3001. Looks like we made the request. Let's go to ticket notifications, and you can see we are having a new ticket here, and in the recipient email we have this. So let's just wait for email to come. Right, let's just wait for 2 minutes and see whether we are able to get the confirmation or not, because we have made the ticket and we are running the cron here. You can see the cron is running every 2 minutes. So let's see, let's wait for a while. Let's say, because you can even see one thing, we were able to get the response immediately because I'm not writing this call inside and await and just making it an asynchronous request. We don't want to like bind our server for this response to come back, right? Let's even check the notification DB. Okay, says both of them say success, so technically we just run again. Yes, we run again. And now if we will check our email, we have an email. We are booking for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows 2 in PVR Select City Walk on for 3 on September. This is successful. We are booking ID this. So technically we should write for 3 seats. Just a small change that we should make. For 3 seats, right? This should be the case. Let's just quickly commit this. We have made good progress here, so let's just commit this. Let's see on which branch we are at. It's fine. So git add all, git commit -m, made a, or I would say added integration using REST API call to the notification service. Feature 8, and we have pushed successfully. So this is how exactly like microservices also communicate. They are able to communicate each other with network calls. One service is going to handle one particular complete thing, one service is going to handle something else, and this is how things actually work. So I hope the overall logic that how we are creating the booking and how we are able to get the mails is clear to everyone. I have to just make a minor fix in the overall application that I can directly see. If you will see the theater, currently there is no association of any client to the theater, right? Currently, whenever you create a theater, if you will check the theater APIs, let's go to routes. You can see that whenever we are creating a theater, the user should be an admin or client, but we are not saving the details of the user, that is who is the owner of the theater, who created this theater. So we want to like make that small, very small change, and we can just very easily do that. So what we can go to models, we can go to theater model, and we can add one more property, owner, right? We can add an owner property that is going to be of the type mongoose dot schema dot types dot object id, right? The reference is going to be to the user table, and the parameter is required. You can say the parameter is a required parameter. Okay, now we have this owner with us. Let's see the create theater API. So if you go to theaters, if you go to create, we are just passing the whole request body. Now we can do one thing. We can just add one more property. Let's destructure this object and add one more property, owner, as request.user, right? So here is the request.user, their property will be passed as the owner ID. I believe this should be fine and this should be enough. So let's run the server again and try to make a new theater. Okay, so first of all, let's just log in using a client. So a@b.com, we can use this to sign in, sorry, /auth/sign in. Okay, we're getting 404 not found. We are not able to get the address. What's happening? Let's go to auth routes. This should be our auth route. Okay, let's see if the server is running. Yes, the server seems running fine. Okay. Okay, I again forgot the password. I believe this should be either this. No. Okay, this is the password. We successfully logged in. Let's copy the token. And in the headers, let's go to client token, paste it here. And now we are going to create a theater. So we can say /v1/theaters, right? And it's a post request. In theaters, we need the name of the theater. So we can say name can be, let's say, PVR forum Shantiniketan. Okay, I'm just randomly writing it. Then we need to have a description. PVR mall inside, sorry, PVR inside forum Shantiniketan mall. We need to give a city. City can be Bengaluru. We need to give pin code. So let's get the original details. So we need to add pin code. Apart from that, we need to add address also. Till the time I'm just googling it, let's just fill the fields. Okay, so the pin code is this and address is this. Okay, anything else? We don't need to send movies, we will add movies later. Let's just first of all create the theater. If you will send this request, okay, so we are getting wrong error parameter. First of all, let's check why is that. The pin code of the theater is not present. Okay, this should be pin code. We're getting a 400 bad request, but I guess there is some issue with the messaging. Let's go to theater middleware. Okay, let's try again. Let's send. Okay, now we are able to create the theater and we're also able to get the owner details, right? So this is good. Let's refresh, and here you can see now we have owner ID as well. This is B8. Let's go to users and a@b.com. Same owner ID as well. So let's just quickly commit this. Added owner ID for creating theaters. Git push this, right? Let's just quickly see if we are left with anything. I believe things are fine now, right? Cool. So that's it for this part. So in the previous part, we actually saw that how we can connect to the prod DB, but we don't want to always connect to the prod DB when like we are developing our application on the local setup, like in our local environment. Then we just want to connect to our local DB, that is prod, that is this DB URL, right? But when our application is running on, let's say, the production environment, in that case only we want to connect to the prod DB URL. So how can we handle that? So generally what people do is they set up like one or two environment variables that can define whether the environment is a production environment or not, right? So we can set up a node environment, right? We can set up a variable node environment and call this as development. Okay, if this node environment variable will be development, we are going to connect to DB URL. If this node environment will be production, we are going to connect to prod DB URL. So we can put a quick if else here. So you can say if process.env.node.env is equals to development, or let's say first let's put the case of production. Then we are going to put a case else we are going to put a case, right? So if this is production, we are going to connect to the production environment. Otherwise, we are going to connect to local environment, DB URL, right? Let's see. Yes, so this is DB URL, right? And in any case, if we are not able to connect, we are going to print the error. I believe this should work fine. This should be good for us. Okay. Let's see. So I believe the app is running already. App is already running. Now let's just try to create a new account. Let's get this admin account. If you send it, now it is getting this admin account created, and this is getting created inside our local DB. You can see here. So now we are connecting to the local DB. So just we will be able to configure our environment just on the basis of this node env property, right? This node env property is going to help us to understand how this node environment is going to work, right? Now the same changes. Let's first of all quickly commit this. This we are, I guess, on the master branch. Okay, so we can just directly do the change on the master branch. So git add all, git commit -m, added env config for production and devdb, git push origin master, right? And the same changes we need to do in for the notification service as well, because that is also going to connect to a database, right? So what we can do is in our atlas, let's see the node environment here. So you can see this is the .env property. We are going to set up a new environment variable node env. This is development here at least. Here let's create a new database. One second, let's see. So let's go to the MBA project, right? And we can create a new cluster. We can create a shared cluster. Again, in the same Mumbai region, we can name it as cluster 1. Okay, so in this project, we can have only one free cluster. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go to that cluster back. We can create a new database. Let's say notifications, right? And let's say the collection name is going to be this. Let's go to model, ticket notification. So now we have two databases. One is this test, one is this notifications, right? Right, and we have this ticket collection here. And if we will see the URL, so let's see how can we connect to this new database. Let's see in the app services. Or maybe we can do one thing. Let's create another project. This can be notifications project. This is going to be the owner. Right, and let's see if we can create a new database here for free. I believe yes. Let's create a cluster. Okay, we are able to create a cluster. Now we will get a different URL for this. Let's auto generate a password. I'll save this password somewhere. Let's create this user. Okay, and this is going to be a cloud environment. For IP address, let's reconfigure it to as 0.0.0.0/0. Anywhere access, add entry, finish and close. Now in order to connect, let's get this URL. So what we are going to do, we are going to say in the environment variable for notification service, we'll say prod db URL. In the password, we will save the password. Okay, cool. I believe this should work fine, right? And let's close it. Okay, if we'll go to browse collections, currently we don't have any collection, so maybe we can try to get it. So we can go inside the notification service. We can do npm. Okay, before we do npm start, in the index.js, let's connect to prod db URL and let's do npm start. Okay, we are connected currently. If we will refresh, you can see now we have a ticket notifications collection, right? Currently there is no entry, so things are working fine. And we will also do the same setup here. We will say if process.env.node.env is equals to production, then we are going to do something else, otherwise we'll do something else. This will be just db URL. Okay, let's see. Looks fine, I guess. So let's just quickly commit this and okay, so executing cron, things are working fine. So we'll say git add all, git commit, git push. Okay, so we have successfully pushed the code for this notification service as well. So we have both of the service, we have database in production, right, which is hosted on MongoDB Atlas. Things are getting into shape now. In the next subsequent set of parts, we are going to see that how we can use Heroku to start hosting the application. We are going to first of all sign up. We'll see the overall dashboard of Heroku and we'll start preparing the project on Heroku. So now we have made some good progress on the application, and now we want to actually start the deployment of the application, right? We will first of all see that how can we deploy our database, because in the current situation of the app, what's going on is we have our MongoDB installed in our local system. So there's a MongoDB server running in our local system. You can see the address for MongoDB is 27017, right? And using this server only, we are able to connect, and this is a local server. Now when we will be deploying our application, let's say if we are deploying on Heroku or AWS, anything, in any of the case, we have to connect to a MongoDB server also, but that should also be hosted in production environment. We cannot like just make a call to our so we like cannot just make a call to our local system, so we need to host this database as well. So what we are going to do, there are multiple services using which we can host the database. For example, if let's say we are doing the deployment on AWS, then we can use some services from AWS only to host the database. For the time being, what we are going to do, we are going to use the service of MongoDB Atlas, right? So let me open the browser in front of you. We'll write MongoDB Atlas. Okay, it's kind of like a cloud database service that will be available for us. We can try it for free, and it will help us to at least get the hang of how the deployment and all works, right? So first thing is you can click on try free, right? It will ask you to register yourself, right? So I'm going to use the same credentials that I use for my movie booking Gmail ID, right? So movie booking MBA, and email is going to be this. Let me bring in the email, and okay, let's create our Atlas account. Okay, we could have done sign up by Google as well, but no problem. Let's save it. Okay, so we need to verify our email. I've received a verification email, and I'll click on verify email. Right, email is verified now. Now I believe we can refresh, or I can just again open MongoDB Atlas. Let's log in now. Sign in, and oh, I guess it automatically refreshed. Cool. So this is the dashboard for MongoDB Atlas, right? We can build a database directly here, and this is going to help us, right? So on the home page, we can see that there are multiple projects that we can make, right? We can create a new project, right? So let's say the project name as MBA movie booking app MBA. That's it, right? We don't want to add any members. We'll just create project. Okay, so now we have we are inside our MBA project. You can see, right? Now what we can do, we can click on build a database, right? And we will go for this shared one. This is for learning and exploring MongoDB to a cloud environment, basic configuration options, right? We don't need any credit card or something to start with. We can just click on this plan, right? Okay, now we are going to create a shared cluster. So let's read about it. So it says that for this is for learning and exploring MongoDB. So we have multiple cloud providers that are automatically integrated inside MongoDB Atlas. We have AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. AWS is available in these regions. Google Cloud is going to be available uh, in these regions, and Azure is going to be available in these regions. Right. So maybe we can move forward with AWS. Right. And let's do one thing, because AWS has a lot of regionality. The closest to us is going to be the Mumbai server. So we can maybe use this Mumbai server for us. Right. So let's select this Mumbai server, and maybe we can click on create. We can also check rest of the configurations, right? This is a free one, 512 MB. I believe this should be fine for us, right? We don't need backup for the timing. Cluster name can be cluster 0. Let's create a cluster. Okay, so there is a captcha that we need to solve. Crosswalks, I believe this should be fine. Okay, this is fine, right? After the captcha you will get this security quick start, right? So let's see what does it say. Your first user will have permission to read and data. Okay, maybe you can use this password based authentication in order to do it, right? So let's create a username. So let's say we'll say Sanket as the username, and I'll just write a password here, and or maybe we can just auto generate a secure password. Okay, and I'll copy the password and paste it somewhere so that I have it for reference. I'll create a user. Okay, cool, looks fine. Okay, so we have created the user, right? And let's see, where would you like to connect from? So we have two options. My local environment, it is going to use this add at network IP address to the IP access list. This can be modified anytime. Or we are going to use it from cloud environment. We will be using it from cloud environment. So let's select that, right? After selecting the cloud environment, it says see your network security with any one of the following options. IP access list, enable access from specific IP address. VPC peering, peer your VPC with your Atlas cluster VPC to ensure that traffic doesn't traverse from public internet. This is not something that we want. Private endpoint also we don't want, right? So what we can do is we can prepare this IP access list. Now if we want everyone to get access, like if I want that from anywhere I can access it, I should write the following IP 0.0.0.0/0, right? And we can say allows access from anywhere, right? Either you can put like custom IP also, that is also fine, but for the timing I'm going to make it available all over the internet. We can add entry, and you can see this is something there. Anyone can access it. Okay, this should be fine. And at last we can just click on finish and close. So it says congratulations, and now we can go to the database. Cool. So now we have our database setup. This is a server running in Mumbai, right? Now this is the database page. Now here we have a button which says connect. Let's click on connect, right? So it is asking us for setting up a connection method, that what connection method we want to use, right? And now what we can do is let's see, we don't want to connect with MongoDB shell, we want to connect your application, right? So let's connect with your application. Okay, so the driver is going to be a Node.js driver. We have a support for a lot of languages, but let's go for Node.js. Version is 4.1 or later, definitely, that's fine, right? So now what we can do is add your connection string to your application code, include full driver code example. Okay, if you want to have the full driver code, this is something that you can do, right? This is the URI that we can directly use, right? Otherwise we can just copy this URI from here, right? And here we have a password return, right? And it says replace password with the password for Sanket user. So that just the user password that we have made, we need to replace it with that password, right? And the rest of the things should be fine. Okay, so let's copy this, right? Let's copy this, and let's go to our MBA app. In the MBA app, let's go to the environment variables. In the environment variables, I'll make a new variable, prod db URL. Okay, right? And here the password that I got, I'm going to copy paste it. Don't worry, I'm going to delete this password later, so like don't try to use it because it won't be accessible later after recording the video. So instead of the password, I'm going to write the password here. So the prod db URL is ready for us, right? And let's close this file for the time being. Okay, so we have our setup ready. We can close it, right? And now we have our prod db address also written here. Let's see, in the environment variables, right? Now let's try to connect to this prod db URL, right? Let's try to connect to this prod db URL. So if you will see, let's close all of these files. We can open index.js. In index.js, we are connecting to this db URL, right? Instead of db URL, let's try to connect to prod db URL. Okay, let's save the file. Okay, it restarted, right? Looks fine. And let's open Postman and let's try to create a new user. So /API/v1. slash auth slash sign up admin@mba.com, password let's say we can keep as admin, and name we can keep as admin. Okay, let's send the request. Oh sorry, this should go in body, my bad. This should not go in params, this should go in body. So email admin@mba.com, password let's say admin, name is admin. Okay, let's send the request. Okay, so we are able to at least make some connection. This is currently connected to our local database only, like local server only. It didn't make a call because the validation didn't went through. So let's have this as the password. Let's send it, and you can see we just created a new user. Let's first of all open our MongoDB campus. Let's go to MBADB. Let's go to users collection, and you can see we don't have any admin user here. Now if you will go for browse collections here, it's loading, let's wait for a while. You can even see there was a spike in the connection, right? So we were able to connect it, and you can see this, right? We have all of these collections with us, and we have a users collection, and in the users collection we have a new user. So we are able to connect to a prod database, right? Currently we don't have any theaters or something. In the users collection we are having this. Let's try to even sign in so that we can see if we are able to again make a call or not. Let's remove name, and if you send it, now you can see we are also receiving tokens. So things are working fine. Things are working fine here, right? If you will go to sorry, metrics, you can see that how much connection or traffic we are having. These kind of things we will be able to monitor as well, right? So things are quite interesting, and we have successfully set up our database on the prod, right? This database is going to help us because we are going to later set up prod environment configuration as well, right? So I hope the overall logic on how to set up MongoDB Atlas as your prod environment database is clear to everyone. Oh, now we are going to set up our account for Heroku, right? On Heroku, we are going to see the first type of deployment, right? So let's open a new window, and we can open Heroku here. Just search for Heroku. So Heroku is a cloud application platform. You can say that Heroku provides a lot of services. These services are provided by other platforms as well, like AWS, GCP, and all. Generally, people use Heroku for quick deployment. Let's say you are in a hackathon, or let's say you are just building some small project. So for that, Heroku's free deployment works really fine. But if you go for industry level production applications, then people rely on more reliable sources like AWS, GCP. Heroku also provides those reliable solutions, but depending on use case to use case, depending on pricing, what they are offering, different companies uses different platforms. We are going to explore both Heroku and AWS, but first of all, let's just focus on Heroku. Okay. So first of all, let's just sign up to Heroku, right? So you can create a free account, right? If you want to sign up to Heroku, right? So let me just put in the few details. So it's the email ID I'm going to use as the movie booking email ID. Let's say student, we can say India, and preferred language for the timing we can keep as Node.js. Okay, I'm clicking on I'm not a robot. Let's create a free account. Okay, so it's now going to ask us to verify the email. So let's just quickly do that. So I'll just opening a side tab so that I can verify the email. Okay, so the verification is done. I'm going to set up a password. Okay. Okay, so it's asking for a few more attempts. So let's say, okay, let's write the password somewhere. So I'm just setting up the account, guys, in a different tab. Okay, so I just will set the password. Okay, cool. Looks like things are fine, and I'm not able to sign like log into Heroku dashboard. When you will log into the Heroku dashboard, it will look something like this, right? So once you have set up your ID and password, things will look like this, right? So let's just try to figure out what all more configurations you want to do, right? So we can say uh, no, this is going to be no, accept. Let's just quickly accept it. And now we are now we have logged into Heroku. Now using this dashboard, we have to set up the whole production pipeline, right? We are going to see how can we do that. Okay, now we are on the Heroku dashboard, right? uh, let's just dismiss this bar. So first of all, we have to create a new app. Generally you get five basic free apps on Heroku, so you can deploy five apps for free. If you want to deploy more, you can just turn off the previous few apps. So let's just see. We'll click on create new app. We have to set up app name and we have to select a region. So let's say I select a Europe region, and let's say I set up the app name as MBA app. Okay, or let's say MBA app. Okay, let's keep this as the app name, and we can create app. Click on create app, right? Cool. After we have created the app, we will come to this dashboard. This is the deployment dashboard, right? So you can add this to a pipeline. We don't want to set up a pipeline, so we'll just click on deployment method. In order to deploy, you can either use Heroku CLI. So what is Heroku CLI? Heroku CLI gives you kind of like an interface from your terminal, so that you can connect to Heroku, your Heroku account, and manage all the deployments and everything. But we are going to do something even simpler for Heroku, because Heroku is all about like simply doing things. So we can use even GitHub to connect to GitHub and do the things, right? So for the timing, just for demonstration purpose, we can even use Heroku CLI and see what can be done. I can help you with one deployment using Heroku CLI and one deployment using GitHub, like we have two services to deploy, right? So let's first of all go to download Heroku CLI. Okay, so in Mac OS, this is the command. So let's just copy this. Let's open a new window for terminal, and let's install it. For installing this Heroku, we are using Brew. So make sure that if you are using a Mac OS, you already have Brew installed. If you're using some other platform like Windows, so you can use this window installer. For Linux also, they must have mentioned all the installation steps, so you can even do that, right? So let's just quickly wait for Heroku CLI to get installed. I'm not sure if I already have Heroku CLI, so I'm just still running the installation command, right? So it's gonna take some time, like it can take around 4 or 5 minutes as well, in order to install, because Brew firstly checks what's going on, what are the things that we have to do. like what are the dependencies. It resolves dependencies, it checks whether this library or whatever software you want to install is available or not, and then it actually starts installing. So there is a brew tab process that happens first, and before even brew tab, it does brew update, right? So there are multiple set of steps that are involved. Once those steps are done, then you will be able to use Heroku or any software that you have installed using brew. So let's just wait for a while and see what can be done. Till the time we can like spend some time on understanding the overall Heroku dashboard, right? You can see that it says we can download and install Heroku CLI, right? And if you not have already logged into your Heroku account, from the terminal you can just write Heroku login. It will give you a pop-up to log into Heroku, and from your terminal you will be able to log in. Then you can either initialize your new Git repository, or you can use an existing Git repository in order to just check it into Heroku. And then from there you can just use the command git push Heroku master to actually deploy it to Heroku using Git. A similar thing that we are doing with this command line, we can directly do from GitHub also. So here you can see there is a GitHub based deployment. You have to connect your account to your GitHub account, and then from there it will automatically choose the project and try to upload it, right? So you can see there are some logs. So it's so I guess we already have Heroku installed. It's upgrading it, right? So let's just wait for a while. You can also use this container registry, right? If you want to have some container based deployment, you can even do that. That is something that is out of the scope for this application at least. Okay, cool. So it has done it is done, I guess, right? It has done some cleanup as well. So now let's just do one thing. Let's just go to our movie booking application. Okay, now first of all, let's just do Heroku login. We'll type Heroku login and press enter. So it says Heroku says that press any key to open up a browser to log in or key to exit. So let's press enter. That is going to open the browser for us, right? So here you can see it opened a browser window for me, and here we can log in. So let me start the login process. So I'll add the email ID, movie booking app service @gmail.com, and password I'm going to write. We can save password for the time being. We can just put the multi-factor authentication later. And it says logged in. You can close this page and return to your CLI. It should be logged in. So now we can close this page, and you can see we have logged in ourselves as movie booking app service, right? So this is good. This is good. Now what we can do is let's just go back to the documentation. So now it says if you don't have a project, just do a git init. Like you don't have a git repository based project, but we do already have. So we'll just add another remote to our application. So let's just add this. So we'll just say Heroku git remote -a MBApp. It's like adding a new remote to your Git application, right? And we'll press enter, and it says set git remote Heroku to this, right? Now all you have to do is for deploying your application, commit your code. We have already committed our code. We can just say git push, and instead of saying origin master is going to connect to us to the origin remote which is currently on our GitHub, but we are going to instead connect to Heroku master. So we have a different origin, Heroku. On its master branch we are going to connect. So we'll say git push Heroku master. So it is going to trigger the deployment. You can see it is going to automatically detect that you have a Node.js application. It is going to get some runtime environments. It's going to install some binaries, some dependencies, because we already have Node package, right? It's going to prune out some dependencies, right? It's going to do a lot of steps automatically. So let's just wait for a while. It says deployment done. um, to this branch. And if you will see, if let's just refresh once, right? And now let's just see. um, we can click on open app. We can click on open app. Once you will click on open app, it will give you the URL. Currently it says cannot get slash because we don't have a home page, right? But let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. In our code, let's say index.js, let's just quickly add a home page. So we'll say app.get slash, so that we can just get an idea that whether our home page is getting rendered properly or not. Request comma response rest.send home, right? We'll just commit this. We'll say git add all git commit -m added home page for testing URL. We'll push it, right? So we have pushed it on master. We'll now push it on Heroku again. We'll say git push Heroku master, right? It is again going to build up the app. So let's just wait for a while. If there will be any errors, we'll see how to resolve them. No issues. So it's again going to start the deployment process. It's going to prepare the build, install the dependencies. Okay, so this is the URL, right? You can also click on open app here, and you can see we are successfully getting our home page ready. So technically we have completed the deployment, but not everything is going to work as easily as you can see, because if let's say now we open Postman. Now let's say if I want to do a sign up, let's change the URL to mba-app.heroku-app.com/mba/api/v1, right? And let's say I want to set up an account. If I send the request, right, you can see things are not working as expected, right? The request is halted somehow. What we can do is we can go here, we can click on more, and we can click on view logs, right? This is like live application logs, right? And you can see you're getting mongoose error, right? It is not able to connect to mongoose. And why is that? Because if you will see your application, then you have some environment variables, and this .env file is not going to get pushed on Heroku because it's inside git ignore, right? So we need to set up all of these environment variables for us, right? So let's just do that. So we can click on more, or we can click on settings, and we can set up config vars. You can this one config vars. So we can say reveal config var, and we can add key value pairs here. So first of all, let's add a port. Let's say 3000, although it's already running without it, but we can add it. Let's add a DB name as MBADB. Add. Then we can add a DB. We can say prod DB URL. This is the prod DB URL. And then we can add a node env. We can say this is production. Then for the time being, let's say we'll say auth key is movie book key, right? We are not adding notice service for now because notification service we have not deployed, and it won't be able to connect on localhost. So looks fine, right? And what we can do, let's check the logs now. You can see now successfully connected to Mongo. After adding all of these variables, we have successfully connected to Mongo. Now if you will try to make a connection, see, if previously it says 500 internal server error, something went wrong. Now if you send the request again, okay, Okay, so we already have this account because in the database we already have the same name. Let's give Sanket and send the request. And now you can see we are able to connect to our prod database from here, and we are able to sign up to the user. We can even sign in now. We don't need name. If you send the request, and we are able to sign in. So this API is directly getting connected from prod. That is the most important part, right? On Heroku, we have successfully connected it to prod. So that's the most interesting part. Now let's do one more thing. Just like how we deployed it using Heroku CLI, there is another easier way as well. So I'll click my personal and open the apps dashboard. So you can see we have one app, MBA app. Let's deploy one more app. So this time we'll say Noti service. We can again select the Europe region. You can select any region. Click on create app. Now you can go to GitHub. You can connect to GitHub. Right. So now it has connected to my GitHub. We can now say, let's search for Noti. So you can say we have a notification service. Let's connect the app. So what it is going to do, this is going to directly connect to our application notification service, and it is going to give us options for automatic deployment, right? We are not going to initiate automatic deployment. What we are going to do, we are going to manual deploy. That is the master branch we are going to deploy. Just so here you don't have to put any commands or something. Just click on deploy branch. And you can see whatever builds we were getting on our Node.js, like on our terminal using Heroku CLI, the same logs we are going to get here. So build succeeded. And this is the URL. So it has been deployed to Heroku, but again the same issue will happen. So let's just do one more thing. Let's go to notification service, and here let's add again app.get / home URL request comma response rest.send homepage for Noti service. Okay, let's just quickly commit this. We'll say git add all, git commit -m added homepage for notification service, git push origin master. Right. So let's say this is also going to help you to mimic the fact that, let's say later you have already deployed your application. Now you made some change. How can you deploy it again? So just go to the dashboard again, right? Click on the dashboard, select your Noti service app. You will again get that same UI, right? Click on deploy, and again, just click on deploy branch master. Just one click you have to do, and it will deploy automatically. It's installing the dependencies, pruning dependencies, build succeeded now. You can click on build view build log to see it in a separate page as well. We don't need that. And it says done. Once it is done, this loader will go off, and you can see it has successfully been deployed, right? You can click on this view, or you can click on open app, anything. You can say homepage for Noti service, or notification service is also ready. Now again, let's do the same thing for our notification service. Also, we have a lot of I would say environment variables. Let's add them. So we will go to settings, we'll go to reveal config vars, and let's start adding them. So we have added port, and sorry, this should be 3001. Let's edit this. If you want to edit any key value pair, you can just edit it. Then let's say DB name is going to be NotiDB. Then DB URL, or you can say prod DB URL. We should have prod DB URL is this. Add it. Apart from that, let's add email. This is the email because we have to send mailers also, right? So we'll send email, add, let's say email password. Let's add the email password. And then we can also add node environment. This is production. Similar to this, you can also prepare a testing environment as well. Let's add it. And I believe this should be good. This should be good, right? So if you will go to view logs, you can see this has also successfully connected to Mongo, right? So we have both of our applications deployed. Now one thing that we can do is, this is the URL of our notification app, right? So in the MBA app config vars, let's say reveal config var, we can add this URL, because if you will see, we have notice service variable as well. Let's add this so that we have the URL for the notification service. So most of the environment variables are done. So now in the next part, what we are going to do, we are going to test the application on Heroku. We are able to successfully sign up. We will try to test the notification service as well, and then see the end-to-end flow working or not. In the previous part, we have already deployed our notification service as well as the movie booking service. Looks like the notifications service and movie booking service are working absolutely fine. We have added the logs, and the logs that we are monitoring here. Let's open the logs here as well. So for both the applications, the logs look fine. There are no as such errors that we are getting. Just want to see that if the flow is working fine or not. So we will try to test a few APIs, right? So we have already tested an API for MBA app, right? Let's try to test the whole flow. So what we are going to do, let me also open MongoDB Atlas, right? Here we have already deployed our database. So let's open the dashboard, right? So we must be having few entries for the users. Let's create one of the users as admin, right? uh, let's see. Okay, this is a normal prompt. Let's finish. Okay, so it has loaded, and we have two projects. Let's open the MBA project, right? And let's click on browse collections. And in the browse collections, we can go to users, and in the users, let's say, let's make this this URL, like this email, sanket@mba.com, as let's make it a client. Okay, let's update, and let's make this admin as an admin role, admin, so that we can like just use any one of them. Update, right? So we have directly modified both of them, right? Now let's try a bunch of APIs for us. So I'll also open the email so that we can check the booking flow, so that we can check if the emails are coming or not. So this is a new user that I will create later. Let's open Postman. Okay, so now let's just do one thing. Let's add a few theater. Let's add a theater. So slash theaters, right? It's going to be a post request, right? and from our local DB I'll get some data out of it. So I'll open MongoDB campus, and in theaters let's get some data. So PVR Plaza. So let's add the name of the theater as PVR Plaza. Okay, let's add the description as the next key. Okay, let's add city as New Delhi. And let's add this as the pin code. Okay, and this can be the address. Address can be this, and looks fine. Let's do one thing. Let's take this token. We have to send token as well. So in the headers, let's say we are going to have a client token. Okay, client can create theaters. Let's send it. Okay, so we have created a theater successfully. Let's open our theaters collection, and you can see we have a theater here as well. So looks fine. Let's add a movie now. So let's go to movies. So we can change the API to /movies, and let's remove all of this data. So let's take the name of the movie as this, and then description as this. I'm just taking values from my database just to test everything. Okay, we have to, okay, this is wrong. Okay, I guess I by mistake did it on the headers. So let's do a auth again. Let's sign in again because I by mistake deleted the token. So we'll say admin@mba.com, password. Okay, let's send. Interesting. We're getting some halt. Let's check the logs why we are halting here. Okay, so app crashed. There is some problem. Okay, so there was an axios error, right? And the axios error happened because we created a theater and it was expecting to send. So if you will take a look in the create theater API, we are trying to send an email, right? And what happened was, okay, so probably, okay, so we were not able to create a, okay, so probably there was no such email, that's why it crashed. So let's see the notification service logs. Okay, so let's check the notification database. Let's open the notifications project, and let's browse collections. So we got no ticket. Okay, so it was not able to connect to the database, I guess. So okay, I got it. What's the problem? So let's go to settings for MBA app, reveal config vars, and we should technically edit this. Let's save changes. Okay, and now let's just view the logs. Okay, so app restarted. I believe things should work fine now. Let's just move ahead and create like sign in as well. Let's send. Okay, it says no user found. What is the user? It's okay, it's admin. Oh my bad. Admin. Okay, so it's an admin and we can create some movies now. So if you will see the middlewares for authentication, so we are going to get X access token. So let's write X access token, and this is the token. Okay, now let's just get a movie slash movies. Okay, so let's take it again. Name, description, okay, and let's make it a raw format instead. So we can send a JSON name. So let's get the name, then description can be this, and then you can have a casts array, right? This can be an array of strings, I guess. So let's say just add one or two factors. After casts array, there should be a trailer URL. Then you should have a language. And then let's say a release date. Then you can have the directors. And you have release status. This should be released. Okay, let's try to send this movie. So send the request. Okay, it says 404 not found because the URL is incorrect. Let's send it now. Okay, so we have successfully created a movie. Let's check our Atlas database. If we go to movies, we have a movie now. So things look fine. Now let's just do one thing. Let's just go to routes, theater routes, and we have a route to add movies, right? So you can say update movies. So this is slash theater ID movies. We can add movies to the theater. So let's just go here. So inside the body, we are going to say we need to have an insert parameter, a movie IDs parameter, which should be an array, right? So let's just do this. So let's get a theater. This is a theater ID. So we can say slash theaters slash ID slash movies. It should be a patch request, and we need to get the movie ID. Okay, so let's remove all of this. So we need to have an insert parameter that should be true, and then we should have a parameter for movie IDs as an array. So movie IDs as an array, and we'll pass a string. Let's see, let's send the request. Okay, there was, okay, it added the movie technically. Let's refresh. Is there an option to refresh? Let's click on theaters again, and we have a movies and we have a movie ID inserted. So this is working fine. So we have inserted the movie in the corresponding theater. Now let's just do one thing. Let's create a show. So for shows, we can say /API/v1/shows. It should be a post request. Okay, and we can have a theater ID. This should be a theater ID. Then we should have a movie ID. This can be our movie ID. Then we need to have timing. Let's copy a sample timing. Number of seats, let's say it's going to be 100, and price of each seat is going to be, let's say, 200. Okay, let's send the request. So now we have a show created as well. Let's just check our show collection. So now we have a shows. Okay, looks fine. Now let's just create a new user who is going to try to make a booking. So /auth /API/1/auth/sign up. We can say email movie booking app service @gmail.com. Password is this, and let's say name can be MBA customer. Okay, let's sign up. So we have signed up successfully. It's a customer. Let's sign in now. Sorry, sign in. And now we have the token. Let's copy the token and let's add one more access token. This is for customer. Let's turn this off, and now we are going to try to make a booking. So /API/v1/bookings. It should be /bookings, I guess. Bookings. Okay, let's create a booking. So in order to create a booking, what all we need theater ID, movie ID, timing, how many seats we want to book. Let's say we want to book 2 seats, and I believe that should be it. Theater, movie, number of seats, I guess this should be good. Let's send the request. Okay, it's in progress state. Total cost expected to be paid is 400 because per seat price was 200. Now we need to make a payment. So /payments, and for payment we need to just get the booking ID. So this is the booking ID. Let's even check if we have the booking correctly made here. So yes, we have this booking ID. So let's send this. We'll say booking ID. This should be the booking ID. And for payment, we are going to take a amount parameter, the amount that the user is willing to pay. That is, let's say 400. Right. Let's send the request. Payment is successful. If you go to payments, we have a successful payment, and if you go to bookings, then booking status is successful. Now what we have to do, we have to wait for our notification service. Let's check the notification database, ticket notifications. Let's refresh, and we also have our email open so that we can check if we receive any email. So you can see we have an entry for an email in the ticket notification, which is in pending state. We have to wait for like 2 minutes in order to see if the state changes, right? So let's open the logs. Let's close this. Okay, let's keep all 3 screens together. So we have not received any email yet. Let's wait for a while. It's going to take approximately 2 minutes, right? Let's refresh the email also once. It will print the object that it is going to use in order to send the email once the email is sent, because that we have as the callback. If you will see in the notifications controllers, sorry, Cron, we have to go to Cron. It actually prints the data. So let's see. Whenever we receive a request also, you can see in Heroku, we get a log here, right? You can even see whenever we receive a request, we get a log. Whatever we log, we are getting here. So it's kind of like a full-fledged mechanism that they have provided for deploying apps. Okay, so technically we have executed the cron again and the email should be sent. Let's check, and you can see we have received the email as well. So our application is working end to end with a proper deployment on Heroku for both the applications. So now our one like movie booking application microservice is connecting to the notification microservice, and the whole architecture is in place and working absolutely fine. So this is like a very big win, I would say, for us. Our application is completed, it's deployed, it's following the microservice architecture. Both the services are getting connected, we are getting logs, things are in production, and you can even try it, right? So in the further upcoming set of parts, this was Heroku. Heroku was simple, I would say, and you must have also found it very simple. But in the further upcoming set of parts, we are going to explore AWS. We are going to see what are the nuances of AWS. Before you go there, I would recommend you to set up an account on AWS. It might take some time to get verified. Once you have AWS account set up, then you can move on to the next parts, where we are going to see the deployments on AWS. It is also going to be simple. It's just that the steps that we are going to do is not going to be automatic. Things are going to be manual, and that makes more sense when we have to take more control on our application deployment when we have very large scale applications. So let's meet in the next part. So now we have completed our deployment on Heroku, right? We our application is working absolutely fine and things are in good shape. Now we have to start looking at the deployment for AWS. Now AWS also has got a bunch of steps that we have to follow, right? And those are not going to be very tricky, but it's just that we have to just strictly follow them one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my AWS console, right? You can just search for AWS console on Google, and it will give you the access to the AWS management console. You can log in. Let me just quickly log in to my console. Okay, so you can see I have logged into my console, and this is the console, right? Okay, now what we can do here is we have to set up few things. So whenever we have to deploy our application on AWS, right, we have to rent a server, right? This application server we can rent from the EC2 facility. So there are multiple services that AWS provides. One of the main key highlights are virtual servers. This is called as EC2. Let's click on EC2. You can see this is the EC2 dashboard that we have, right? Now we have to make sure that we initiate a new EC2 instance, and on that instance, like that will be a kind of like a machine will be able to access the machine using an IP address that we will attach to it, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to get a new machine, right? So let's click on launch instance. Okay, so this whole dashboard you are going to come up, right? Okay, so now as a quick start, you have to select what kind of operating system you want to have on your machine, right? So there are multiple options that they provide. We are going to take Ubuntu, right? We can also take macOS, but for the timing, let's just take Ubuntu, right? You can see the description of the image of Ubuntu, right? And we are going to take a, so there are multiple instance types. We are going to take a T2 micro because it's a free tier available, like it's free for some time. This is good for our deployment testing purpose, right? And then we can go to key pair. This key pair is going to help us to actually log into our this virtual server we are going to access through our own machine. So from our local machine terminal, we will be able to access the virtual server. For that, we need a new key pair. So let's just click on create a new key pair. Let's click the key pair name as MBA app. We are going to keep the private key format as .pem, and let's click on create new key pair. So it has downloaded the key pair. We'll keep it with us and we'll see what can be done here. Right, let's just save this key securely, because this is going to be a one-time key pair that we have access to. Right, and you can see in the network settings it says create security group, and it is going to allow traffic from anywhere. Right, and we are going to allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic from the internet as well. Right, storage can be as it is, no problem. We don't need to do anything on the advanced details, so let's just skip it, and we can click on launch instance. So it's going to take up some time, and it says successfully launch the instance. Let's click on the instance, and you can see this is a new instance launched. Initially, when you will launch a new instance on EC2, it will be in a pending state, so we have to wait for some time before it actually goes into a running state. Right, pending state means it is like configuring a new machine for us on this account. It is going to allocate that machine to our account, right? So multiple things are going to happen. So let's just wait for a while. Right, okay, so now our instance is in a running state, so things are working fine. Now let's see how can we access the instance. Right, so what we are going to do is we got a PEM key downloaded for us, right? So what I can do is, let's go to our terminal. Right, so I have that copied that PEM key inside my developer folder. So we'll go to developer. You can say um, we have a MBA app PEM key, right? So if you will do ls -l, okay, you can see initially this PEM key file is only in a read write mode. We are going to change the mode, so we can say chmod, we'll say 700, and we say MBA app.pem. Right, now if you do ls -l, now it's in a read write and executable mode, so things looks fine. Now how can we access our, I would say, server? Because currently if you will see, this is my local machine. So what you can do, you can use the SSH protocol. SSH is a secure shell protocol using which you can create a secure connection between two virtual machines. So we can click on SSH, and then you can say -i, right? And then you have to mention the name of the key. So it is MBA app.pem. Then you have to say Ubuntu, because it's a Ubuntu machine, so the username is Ubuntu @ now you have to get the IP address. So there's an IP address associated with our instance. You can see this public IPv4. If you click on this and press enter, it says, do you sure want to continue? We'll say yes. Okay, it says permission denied. So let's do one thing. Let's make the permission with 777. Okay, it says bad permission. I guess we have to keep the permission to 700 only. Let's see why we are getting a permission denied on the public key. Let's just quickly Google it. Okay, so I guess they have changed some rules. Instead of 700, we need to keep the rules for 600. If you'll do ls minus l, you can see we just have read write access now. Right, now let's just try to access. Okay, it still says this. Okay, so what we can do is, I guess we can also use the DNS. I believe that should work fine. So let's do one thing. Let's click on this instance ID and let's get the DNS. Let's get the IPv4 DNS. Right, and let's try again. So we'll say SSH minus v minus I mba app.pem ubuntu @ let's try with DNS. And as you can see, we have successfully logged into our Ubuntu machine. You can see the username change, right? Ubuntu @ this. So the command that we have used is, first of all, just make sure that you only have read write access to the key, and then you can use something like SSH minus v minus I. These are two flags that are going to take the input for the PEM key and the address. In the address, you are going to write the public DNS, right? So time to time, AWS changes their rules. Previously, it was accessible through IP address as well. I was not able to access this currently. Maybe I was doing some mistake, but you can even try that. So now we have access to our Ubuntu machine. This is a brand new Ubuntu machine that we have been allocated. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to run the command sudo apt-get update. So because this machine is hosted on AWS servers, the internet is going to be extremely fast. You can see, like, I'm just updating the current libraries of my Ubuntu machine, and it's so fast, right? Now let's just try to install Node.js because it's a new fresh machine, nothing is installed here. So let's try to install new node. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to install nvm. So this command can help us to install nvm. You can just Google any good docs to install nvm, right? Now we can just activate our nvm, right? And now we can install node. So we can say nvm install node. It's going to take up some time, and you can see it has installed node. If you'll do node minus v, we have node. If you'll do npm minus v, we have the npm version as well. So both of the things are working fine. Now what we have to do, let's open GitHub and we will clone our repository here. So just like in Heroku, we were able to connect to the code base by GitHub, we are going to clone the code base here. So we'll say GitHub repositories, and we'll say movie booking API node. We'll say git clone. So you can see we have cloned the movie booking app. So we'll say cd movie booking API node. First of all, what we are going to do, we are going to create a new .env file. Right, in this .env file, we are going to paste all of our environment variables. So let's just take this copy and let's say paste. Okay. For the notification service, I'm going to change the address to the currently to the Heroku's deployed notification service. This is the address. So let's put this as the address there. Right. And the environment variable we are going to say as production. And looks fine. So now we have an environment file with us. Now if you will just do an ls, we don't have node modules because we didn't push the node modules as well. So we'll just do npm install. It will install all the dependencies for us. Okay, looks fine. And now what we can do, we can say node or npm start. You can see now we have a server running on port 3000 and we were able to connect to our MongoDB server as well. Now how can we test the app? So by default, you might feel like if you will go to the AWS console, you have a public IPv4 address. How about if I copy this address, paste it here and put :3000, right? You can see nothing is happening, right? We are not able to connect to anything. Even if we will just go directly to this IP address, it's not going to work as expected, right? So what's we are missing? So we need to configure a bit of things around the network. We need to prepare some security groups and configure them for the network. So let's just do that. So let's go to the AWS console. And if you will go for networking and 1 second, let's go to security. So we have a bunch of security groups. We need to set up the inbound and outbound rules. Inbound and outbound means from where the request can come up and from where the request can go out to, right? So let's just do one thing. This is the security group. Click on the security group and maybe we can edit inbound rules. We can add a rule. We can say, let's see, we can say custom TCP and anywhere IPv4 and for port 3000. Okay, and let's add one more rule for custom TP anywhere IPv6 also and for port 3000, right? And let's say we save the rules, right? We'll save the rules and let's see. So if now we will go to :3000, refresh, now you can see we are able to connect to that because now we allowed that from anywhere in the world, if somebody wants to access the port 3000 for our application, they can do that, right? Okay, now let's just see. If you want to have a particular URL from which you want to like access it, you can click on the instance again and you can use this DNS, copy, paste, :3000, and you can even get this, right? So we have successfully connected our application to AWS as well. If you will go for this address on Postman, :3000, and let's say we go for /auth/signup. We'll put email, password, name. Let's say put a client, and if you send the request, you can see we are able to connect to our APIs also. So our app is hosted on AWS. Technically, our notification service is now available on Heroku. Although we have two instances of our app, one is like MBA, one is on Heroku as well, and one is on AWS. But our notification service is just running on Heroku. We can even deploy that and get things done for the notification service as well. But that's it for this part. In the further upcoming set of parts, we are going to make some more enhancement. We'll try to deploy the notification service as well, and then maybe set up environments variable for both of them. So in the previous parts, we have successfully deployed our application on AWS as well, and you can see the APIs are directly getting connected. But there is a small issue with the overall deployment. You can see this is the console of AWS, right? What if like from my local system, I have connected to the AWS virtual machine. Now, what if I like want to close my local, like I just want to close my laptop. Not to close my laptop, I have to close all the things. So technically what will happen? I have to close this terminal session as well. Once I close this terminal session, the server has stopped. The same thing will happen if you will deploy your app locally in on localhost. When you close the terminal or kill the app, you are no more able to connect. Let's refresh. You can see the server is no more running, so we don't have anything on port 3000. But this is a genuine use case, right? I can't like keep my laptop open forever. So what can we do? So what we have to do is this node service that we have, MBA booking app, we have to convert it to a background process or a daemon process. What's a daemon process? A daemon process is a process that runs in the background. It doesn't affect anything in the foreground, right? So what we will do is we will initiate a daemon process for the AWS virtual machine. It will work in the background and it will not block our terminal. So we can like close this session, the terminal of the machine will keep on going, and we won't be having a blocking terminal session. In order to do that, we will be using a library called as PM2, right? So you can see PM2, it's a production process manager, right? And you can say that PM2 is a production process manager for Node.js application. It has capabilities of built-in load balancers as well. We are not going to explore that perspective for the time being, but what it will do is you will just initiate an app, and it is not going to block our application, and it will make it a daemon process. So what can we do is um, we can say npm install pm2 -g. So globally we are going to install pm2. Right, so I came outside the project folder and installed pm2. Now let's go back to the project folder, and this time instead of doing npm start, we'll just say pm2 npm start. Okay, it said an error. Let's do one thing. Let's try pm2 nodemon index.js. Okay, it's not able to get the commands. Let's see. Oh, we have a pm2 start, so we can do pm2 start index.js. This is something that we can do, and we are done. So you can see this, we have started a new server, right? And our terminal session is not blocked. I can do something else on the terminal as well, like I can do ls, right? I can do more stuff here. And if you will just refresh your server, you can see it's back on again, right? And we can even have multiple instances of our server running using this virtual machine process manager. We can have multiple instances running. It has a dedicated load balancer. Those features are also available. You can explore that yourself and read about more around pm2. But the main pointer is we are not having a blocked terminal state. So now what we can do is we can just exit from this terminal session. Now I am back in my local computer's terminal, and you can see it's still running because now it's a background process on the virtual machine that AWS has allocated us. Now if you want to SSH again, I'll just put the SSH command again. Right, I'll go to the movie booking app. I can do pm2ls. Pm2ls will help me to list down all the background processes that we have. So you can say this is one. If you want to stop any background process, you can do pm2 stop, and you can say index. You can see the name of the process index, right? So you can just put index, and now the instance is stopped. If you will refresh now, it's not there. You can again start it, and the server is up again. Whenever you will make a change, what we can do is we will just do a git pull on the production app, and we will just restart. You also have an option to restart, right? Whenever you make a change, you can just like restart. So you can see it restarted the app. It will first close it and then automatically restart. So there is a lot of features that pm2 comes up with, and we can definitely use this, right? So now we have our movie booking application successfully deployed. Right, now let's just do one thing. Let's just do one more deployment. Right, let's just do one more deployment, and we can go to EC2 instances, and we can launch a new instance, right? So again, let's name the server as Noti service. It will be again an Ubuntu machine. We'll take again T2 micro. We'll create a new key pair. We'll say Noti and create a new key pair. Right. We'll save it. Then for the network settings, for the timing and allowing everything everywhere, we'll also set up security groups, and we can just launch the instance. Right. And if I will go for the instance now, I believe it should be still in a pending state. Now it's in a running state, so we have our new Noti service as well. Now let's just quickly copy paste the Noti PEM also in the developers folder. Okay, and now what we can do, we can have a new terminal session. We can say cd developer, we can say chmod 600 noti.pem, and this time I can again do ssh noti.pem ubuntu @ let's get the DNS. Okay, so I guess previously I was trying private IPv4 address. Let's try public IPv4 address, and let's see if we are able to log in. And you can see we are able to log in. So previously most probably I was using private IP address, that's why I was not able to log in. And you can see now we have a brand new another instance. Here we can deploy our Noti service. So what we can do is again do sudo apt get update. First of all, just update everything in your Linux machine. It's done. Now let's just go to GitHub. Let's go to Noti service and let's clone Noti service. We'll say git clone. We have cloned it. Let's go to notification service. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a .env file. So this is going to be the Noti service .env file. Let's just paste it here. Right, the environment is going to be production. Okay, this is going to be in production environment. Escape :wq. We'll do npm install. Okay, so we have not installed Node. Let's just quickly install Node on this machine. I guess I forgot it. Right, again we'll do the same thing. We will first of all install nvm. Let's install nvm. Right, and let's configure nvm, and now we can do nvm install node. Okay, cool. So node is installed. Now we can go back to the notification service, and now we can do npm install. It's going to install all the dependencies. It's there. And we can, for the same thing, we can also install pm2 here also. Let's first of all, let me show you by doing npm start. You can see the notification server is running. Now let's just configure the security group. Right, so let's set up an inbound rule, and let's edit inbound rule. Let's add a rule, custom TCP anywhere IPv4 for port 3001 and anywhere IPv6 for port 3001. Let's save rules. Okay, let's go back to our instance. This is the Noti service, right? And now if I will copy this address, do :3001, we have the notification service also ready. Instead of this IP address, we can also use sorry, DNS address, we can also use this public IPv4 :3001, and still we are getting the same. But again, we have a blocking situation here. So what we are going to do, we are going to set up PM2, right? So let's Google again PM2 node. Let's install PM2. Let's close the server. Let's install PM2. Now let's go back to the notification service, and we can do PM2 start index.js, right? We can do PM2 ls and one instance will be running, right? We can also check logs for PM2, right? When whatever logs we are getting, we can also check logs. You can see PM2 monit, you can write PM2 monit, right? And this is going to give us logs. So you know that in the notification service every 2 minutes we print executing cron again, so you will get that here. So if you have multiple processes managed by PM2, this left side is the process list. You can just go to any process and see what are the logs that you are going to get, right? Same thing we can do here, PM2 monit, and we can get the logs for our MBA app as well, right? So this monit is going to be helpful. You can just close it by pressing Q. You can close it, right? And that should be it. Let's see, for PM2, if you want to delete any instance, you can just do PM2 delete. If you want to reload all, you can use this command, and you can see multiple things are there. If you want to, at one point of time, you can execute multiple processes as well. You can see if you want to have a proper load management as well done by PM2, you can say PM2 start, let's say in our case index.js, and you can put -i. -i is going to start multiple instances at same time instead of just one instance on a code, right? So this is something that you can do, right? Let's close it. So now we have successfully deployed both of our notification service and MBA app on AWS. Till now we have made almost all the progress that we were expecting and whatever features we wanted to build. We were also able to see deployment on both Heroku as well as AWS, and I believe you guys must have learned a lot of things, right? So now what we want to do is we just want to check that if the connection between the two services that we have deployed on AWS, you can see that on AWS now we have two services, right? Movie booking app as well as the notification service as well. So we just want to see that if they are able to communicate within each other properly or not. So let's just do one thing. So this is the URL for the movie booking app. Let's go to Postman, right? Okay, we already have it here. Let's try to sign in again. Let's try to sign up once. Once again, let's see. So in the users, do we have movie booking user? Okay, so we have movie booking app user, right? So let's do one thing. Let's create another booking from them. So we will say movie booking app service @gmail.com. We already have the theaters and movies because the database is the same database of MongoDB Atlas that we used for Heroku deployment. So we already have got data there. So let's just sign in. You can see we have signed in successfully. Now let's just get this token and let's paste the new token. Let's try to create a new booking, right? And let's do one thing. Let's see for the shows, are we updating the seats or not? Okay, number of seats are getting updated. Looks fine. So we want to create a new booking for 3 seats, right? So we'll say /bookings. Let's send it. Okay, so we have created a new booking. Let's get the booking ID and try to make a payment. So this time the required payment is 600 because that's the total cost. right? And let's send it. So we need to make a payment, right? So we'll say slash payments and send it. Okay, so we have made it successful, and we should have one more payment record now. So we have two payment records, and let's just quickly check. Now technically we should have two ticket notifications for us. So now you can see we have one more pending ticket notification, and let's just open our email as well so that we can see if we have received the email. So let's just wait for a while. Until the time, what we can do, we can go to PM to monitor also, if just to see if there is anything right. Let's just see. Till the time, we can just we can also see more log management. We can also do one thing. There is one more way. We can do PM to logs also, so that we can see the log management in real time. So let's see, I guess. So you can see we have received a new successful payment. You can see we have received a new successful seats for 3 seats. Okay. We've received 2 emails. Let's see if there is a problem here. How many ticket notifications we had? This should be success now. This is successful. Looks fine. Um, let's see. So for ticket notification service, in the cron, we are trying to fetch every ticket with state pending, right? So let's try to make one more booking and see if we are still getting multiple emails, because there can be an issue that AWS is rendering it again, like refreshing it again. So now we have how many seats? We have 95 seats left. Let's make one more booking. This time let's make a booking of 5 seats. Slash bookings. Now we have one booking in pending state. Let's get the ID, and the amount expected this time is going to be 1000. Let's remove these request parameters and let's go for payments. Let's send it, and this is successful, right? So now if you will see in the ticket notification, we must have received one more ticket, right? uh, let's refresh. So now we have one ticket in pending state, so technically we should receive only one email. So let's just do one thing. Let's delete all the old emails so that we have a track of a new email that we have received, right? I've deleted all the emails, and we will get the logs here as well, right? Because technically we are just getting one object, so just want to see, because there can be a issue that the mailing service is not working properly. So until unless it exceeds, like every time we are, instead of 2 now we are sending 3 then 4, until unless that is the case, I believe it should be fine for us to avoid for the time being. So let's just wait for 2 minutes. We'll get a log probably here. Okay, I guess now we are again getting 2, so probably this is the issue with the mailing service. It is sending mail multiple times, right? And I also got the issue. What is the issue? Okay, so we are just getting two mails because there is a server running on Heroku also. We have not shut down that server. So Heroku server is also like hitting it at the same time. It is also getting the pending state and updating, and the Amazon server is also doing the same thing. That is why if you will just turn off the Heroku server, it should be fine for us. So let me even show you that how you can turn down your servers. So all you have to do is let's just go to Heroku dashboard, and whatever app you have, you just click on the app, and you can click on more, and or you can go to settings, and you can delete the app. So you have to just write the name MBA app, and you can delete the app. Same thing for notification service we can do, and you can delete the app. Just write the name notice service and delete the app. So now there are no new apps on Heroku. Now when you will make the booking, you will only get one email. Let me just show you. So let's create another booking, no problem, /bookings. Let's get one seat this time. Send. We got a booking ID. Let's set the booking ID and make a request to payments. This is done. Now we should receive one email, right? So you might be thinking we are making a request to the Amazon server, then why Heroku servers was getting initiated? This is because of Cron. Because on Heroku server also, when we have deployed our notification service, it's a Cron. It will run itself. We don't have to make a request, right? It every 2 minutes it is going to just parse the database, check what all entries are there in a pending state, and just it will just execute an email out of it, right? When we make a request to the notification service, it is just to create that ticket. For passing the ticket, we don't have to do any action, right? Passing is automatically going to be done, and because the database was shared in between multiple servers, it was getting rendered like it was sending two mails. So now if we will wait for 2 minutes, we should technically not get that issue. I will also teach you like how you can turn off the AWS servers, because if let's say this is just for learning purpose we are doing, but if you will just get a lot of traffic, then they might upgrade your tier automatically and might charge you also. So it's a good thing that you once you are done with all your learning purpose and you have tried the deployment, you should technically turn down the server so that you don't get any payments. If you'll just use it for educational purpose, things are going to be free, and that's your agenda, right? Because in any company or startup you will go, their payment is going to be like their company is going to handle the payments and all. So for learning purpose, just try it, deploy it once, and things are done. If you want to keep it deployed and you want to like put these deployed applications in your resume, that's a separate thing. You can keep it deployed, but because you're not going to put a lot of traffic, it is going to be in free tier. But just make sure you know that the per account free tier is, I guess, for 1 year only. So just read the conditions if you don't want to get into any kind of a hassle, right? So I believe anytime we should expect an email, because if we will go here, there should be a new ticket notification. So okay, so technically we should have received the email. Let's refresh. Okay, it didn't. Interesting. So we didn't create a new. Okay, so probably let's see. Maybe we encountered some issue. Okay, so we are not able to get it. There was some issue here, right? Let's do a PM2 restart. PM2 restart index. Okay, and let's go for PM2 logs here as well. Let's see what all we are getting. Let's try to make another booking because most probably something went wrong last time. Let's try to debug. Let's create one more ticket, /bookings, send it. Okay, in process. Any error? No such error at all. Looks fine. Let's try to make a payment. So let's get the booking ID. 200, and let's hit payments, send it. Payment is successful. Did we hit any error? Okay, we are facing an error. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so what is happening? Since we have deleted the Heroku server, we have to make one very small change. If you will go to your env file, vim.env, here you can see for notice service, we have still given the address of Heroku service, right? Let's update it with our Amazon service so that we don't face any issues, right? Because now the Heroku service is deleted, there is no point of keeping it here. Let's just get the Amazon service address. So let's just put it here, HTTPS. This should be the address, and let's restart the server and now try again. I know we are making a lot of bookings. Let's see, in that case there do we have payment? Yes. So let's again create one more booking, send it, looks fine. Let's remove all of this. Right, and let's send the request again. Okay, this is to payments. Let's send it. Payment is successful. Let's see, did we hit any error? Okay, again we are getting error probably. Because we have not received any ticket notification, we hit an error most probably. So let's send it again. Okay, so let's see, is it a HTTP? Okay, it was an HTTP. I wrote the address as HTTPS. That was the problem. Let's go again to the env file. This is HTTP, not HTTPS. Escape :wq. Let's restart. Okay, again we have to make a booking. I know this is a bit frustrating. /bookings. Now let's just get the booking ID. This should be payments. Send it. Okay, let's refresh here. Did we receive the ticket? Okay, still we have not received. Let's try again. Let's do one thing. Let's copy this request here, post, right? So now let's make another booking. We need to see, debug it, what's going on. Let's send it. Okay, let's see the logs. So what's the error now? Okay, it's not able to make the request. So probably we need to change some configuration on the EC2 console. So if you will go to security groups, let's see our instances. Let's go to instances. And for the notification, for this one, we need to set some outbound, because we have set the request for inbound that incoming request can be handled, but for outbound we need to handle. I believe we should edit the rules. So outbound, let's edit outbound rules that anywhere IPv4 address from port 3000 we can make, anywhere IPv6 from port 3000 we can make. Let's save changes. Right, let's try now. Payments, send the request. Let's see the logs. Okay, we again encountered an error. So let's see. Still there is an issue. Let's open the management console for EC2. Let's see the instances for notice service. Let's see. I guess anybody can call notice service. This is the security group. For notice service, we can let's see. Let's try to make a request from our postman and see if we are able to hit the notice service or not. So this is the notification service /API/v1, right? And let's create a new notification /notifications. Okay, for notification, let's see what all parameters do we need. We need okay, one second, let's go to middleware. We need subject, content, and recipient emails. So we need subject as test, test subject, content, testing content, and let's say this is recipient emails as movie booking service, movie booking app service @gmail.com. Let's see if we are able to create it, send it. Okay, so the problem is it's not able to take inbound request. So there is issue with the security group here for notification service. So let's open notice service. Let's go to security groups, edit inbound rules. Okay, for 3001, this is good. Let's see vim.env. We're running on port 3000. This is taking requests, but it's not taking requests from here. Okay, so I guess the route is /notice service /API. Let's send it. Now we are creating, so it's taking incoming requests. So now we have to just check the outgoing request from our MBA service should be working fine. So this is the MBA service. Let's go to security, open security wizard. Let's edit the outbound rules. I guess we need to set it for 3001. Save rules. Okay, let's try again with our EC2 instance. Let's create one more booking. Let's see if the logs are running. Okay, logs are running. Okay, and let's slash bookings. Okay, and let's send the booking ID. Slash payments. Now let's send it. And we again encountered an error. So Exas is not able to make outbound request. Let's just Google it. Outbound rules. Let's just Google it. And let's see the outbound rules once again. I've currently designed for our anywhere IP address. So let's see if things create issues still or not. Slash payments. Send it. Okay. Still we are getting error. Okay, so probably I got the issue. So actually I was writing the address wrong. So this is going to be previously I wrote 3000 instead of 3001. So let's write 3001 and let's restart the app. Okay, so now if you will make a request to slash bookings, and if now we will make a request to slash payments and send the request, let's see pm2 logs. Okay, so where there is no error log that we are getting, and I believe if you will refresh for ticket notifications, we must have received a new ticket notification. You can see we have a new ticket notification in a pending state. And let's go to the email. So we were just writing the address wrong. That was the only issue, right? So we will receive an email in a while. So let's also have logs here. Okay, till that time we can just monitor our database. We must have a lot of bookings and payments records, I believe. So we made a lot of booking and payments records. No worries. Now everything should be connected. The only issue was we were we had to add some outbound rules. If you will see here, if I go to EC2 instances and for MBA app, in the security, in the security, And if you go to security groups, we have to just add outbound rule so that we allow all like traffic to everywhere. Like we can send request everywhere. That traffic we are going to allow. And let's refresh the email. Okay, now technically we should have received it, and yes, email is also working. And now we are only receiving one email because we don't have any Heroku instance. So things are working absolutely fine, and this is how we can complete our deployment on AWS. Now, as I said, let's make sure that we don't have after, like, when we don't have any use case for the instances, we just turn them off. So we can do pm2 stop index. Let's stop the server here as well, and let's stop the server here as well. Right, once we have stopped the servers, let's refresh the EC2 instances, and what we can do, just check all, and on the actions button there must be manage instance state. So we can click on terminate forever. If you will just stop, it will stop the instance, but you can restart it later. If you will terminate, it will delete the instance. So let's go for change state, terminate. It's shutting down. Right, let's just wait for it to shut down successfully. Let's refresh. Once it will shut down, it will automatically delete the instances so that we don't have any unnecessary charges on us. But as I said, if you are having your first year of the AWS, then you can run it for free, and then later next year you can make a new account and redeploy everything, and just change. If you want to mention anything anywhere, like in your resume or something, you can just do that. So one is terminated, other one is still shutting down. If you refresh, okay, both of them are terminated. Now let's go to instance settings, and let's see, we must be having some option to delete it here. Let's go to instances, right, and let's see. Let's terminate from here, successfully terminated. Okay, let's just quickly check how can we completely delete. I guess it will automatically get terminated after some time, like deleted or terminated after some time. Right, let me just quickly check the docs. I believe that's all we have to do, right? Let's go to instances once. Okay, so here I found a doc. So you can see the instance will approximately remain there for 1 hour, and then it will automatically get terminated. So you can see after a terminated instance, you will also delete all attached AWS EBS volume, right? And the instance will remain on the AWS console for about an hour before the system deletes it completely. So you will see it in the dashboard, but it will get automatically deleted after some time, right? So this is how you can manage all of your deployments on AWS as well as Heroku. So we have explored both of the things, and I hope the overall logic on how you can build the app from the very scratch and make it to the deployment is clear to everyone.